Ever wondered what would happen if you just stopped sleeping? It sounds like a superpower, right? Imagine having an extra 8 hours every single day to work, play, or binge watch your favorite shows. But the truth is, sleep isn't just a luxury. It's a biological necessity, as crucial as air, food, and water. Trying to live without it would be one of the worst decisions you could ever make. So, why exactly can't we live without sleep? Let's dive into the fascinating and frankly kind of terrifying world of sleep deprivation. First off, let's talk about your brain. When you're awake, your brain is a bustling city with neurons firing, messages zipping back and forth, and metabolic byproducts, or brain gunk, building up. Think of it like a busy office at the end of the day, papers everywhere, overflowing trash cans. Sleep is the nightly cleaning crew. During deep sleep, a system called the glymphatic system kicks into high gear. It uses cerebrospinal fluid to flush out toxic proteins that accumulate between brain cells during the day. One of the most famous of these toxins is beta-amyloid, the same protein that forms plaques in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. So every night you sleep, you're literally washing your brain, clearing out the junk so it can function properly the next day. Skip sleep, and that junk starts to pile up, leading to brain fog, confusion, and impaired judgment. This brain cleaning process is also vital for memory and learning. Throughout the day, you're bombarded with new information. Sleep is when your brain sorts through all these experiences, deciding what's important enough to keep and what can be discarded. It strengthens the neural connections related to important memories, a process called memory. Consolidation and weakens the important important ones. This is why pulling an all-nighter to study is often counterproductive. You might cram the information in, but without sleep to lock it down, you'll likely forget most of it by the time you take the test. It's like saving a document on a computer. If you don't hit save by sleeping, the file just gets lost. But it's not just about memory. A lack of sleep throws your emotions completely out of whack. Ever felt irritable, short-tempered, or even weepy after a bad night's sleep? That's because the amygdala, your brain's emotional center, becomes hyperactive without rest. At the same time, its connection to the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logical reasoning and impulse control, gets weaker. So you're left with a hair-trigger emotional response without the rational part of your brain to keep it in check. It's a recipe for overreactions and poor decisions. You're basically driving a car with a sensitive gas pedal and faulty brakes. Now, let's move from the brain to the rest of the body, because the consequences of sleep deprivation are truly systemic. Your immune system is one of the first things to take a major hit. While you sleep, your body produces and releases cytokines, which are proteins that target infection and inflammation, creating an effective immune response. When you don't get enough sleep, your body makes fewer of these protective cytokines. This leaves you more vulnerable to common viruses like the cold and flu. Studies have shown that people who sleep less than 6 hours a night are significantly more likely to catch a cold when exposed to the virus compared to those who get more than 7 hours. Sleep is your body's personal army, and skipping it is like sending your soldiers into battle without any weapons. Then there's your physical health. Chronic sleep deprivation is linked to a terrifying list of serious health problems. It messes with your body's ability to regulate blood sugar, increasing your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. It raises your blood pressure and puts you at a higher risk for heart disease and stroke. Why? Because sleep helps your blood vessels and heart heal and repair. It also affects your appetite-regulating hormones, ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin tells you when you're hungry, and leptin tells you when you're full. Lack of sleep causes ghrelin levels to go up and leptin levels to go down. This means you feel hungrier, especially for high-calorie, high-carb foods, while also feeling less satisfied after eating. It's a dangerous combination that can easily lead to weight gain and obesity over time. So, what's the longest a human has ever gone without sleep? The most famous case is that of Randy Gardner, a high school student who, for a science fair project in 1964, stayed awake for 264 hours. That's 11 days and 25 minutes. By day 2, his eyes had trouble focusing. By day 3, he was moody and uncoordinated. Towards the end of the experiment, he was experiencing paranoia, hallucinations, and severe cognitive impairment. He couldn't even do simple subtraction problems. While Randy eventually recovered without any apparent long-term harm, this experiment is not something to be repeated. In fact, it is considered so dangerous that the Guinness World Records no longer tracks this record to discourage people from trying. Animal studies paint an even grimmer picture. In experiments where rats were completely deprived of sleep, they all died within a few weeks. Their bodies lost the ability to regulate temperature. They developed sores on their skin, and their immune systems completely collapsed. While we can't ethically conduct these studies on humans, it suggests that total prolonged sleep deprivation is ultimately fatal. So, sleep isn't passive downtime. It's an incredibly active and vital state that our bodies and brains depend on to repair, recharge, and reset. It cleans our brains, consolidates our memories, regulates our emotions, strengthens our immune systems, and protects our cardiovascular health. Trying to cheat sleep is like trying to run a marathon without drinking water. You might make it a little way, but eventually your system will crash. The fantasy of a 24/7 life is just that, a fantasy. The reality is that we are biological beings hardwired for a cycle of rest and activity. Embracing sleep isn't a sign of weakness. It's the smartest thing you can do for your mind and body. So tonight, when you're rethinking about staying up to watch just one more episode or scroll through social media for another hour, remember what's happening behind the scenes. Your body is waiting to start its essential maintenance work. Give it the time it needs. Prioritize your sleep. Your brain will be clearer, your body will be healthier, and your mood will be better for it. Don't think of it as losing time. Think of it as investing in a healthier, happier, and more productive you. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into how your body works. Sweet dreams.